They call them Indigo children. They have high IQs, heightened intuition, and some claim they can see dead people. Tonight, are these kids being manipulated by their parents? Or is there something to their unusual claims? This is Anderson Cooper 360.
A question for you tonight. How can you tell if your child is gifted or has a disorder? We ask you that because some parents and even some doctors believe that a number of children today are gifted with psychic powers. They call them Indigo children and say that some of these kids can even see the spirits of the dead. Now, believing in spirits is not that unusual. A third of Americans do, according to a recent Gallup poll. But saying that these children have psychic powers, well, it takes it to a whole other level. Some doctors say the kids have shown symptoms of attention deficit disorder, not psychic powers. Tonight, CNN's Gary Tuckman introduces you to some of the so-called Indigo children, and, well, you can judge for yourself.
Paula, what's your problem? At 14 years of age, you go through a really rebellious time, and that's what
Through the lens on her computer's camera, 17-year-old Sandy Bershad communicates with friends across the world.
That's Eric. He's from Sweden.
But from her bedroom on the Jersey Shore, Sandy says she is wired into another universe, a sort of supernatural superhighway.
Your dead grandmother visited you last night.
Uh-huh.
In your bedroom?
Uh-huh.
And what did she say to you?
Just to say hello, that she loves me, that kind of thing. She usually just comes to visit. Her energy is very, nice, healing.
Sandy, who spends a lot of her time on the beach, believes that guiding spirits surround her.
So right now you see angels?
Yes.
And where are they?
They're, over here.
Over here?
Yeah.
Like near my shoulder?
Yeah.
It may sound like science fiction, but a growing network of believers say these types of visions are fact. Teens like Sandy claim they're part of a special generation born after 1978 known as Indigo children, for the deep blue auras that psychics say they see around them. Indigo children have high IQs and tend to be rebellious and oversensitive. They're often also said to share special gifts, heightened intuition, and psychic abilities.
She's one of them, isn't she?
Excuse me?
An indigo, like my son.
In recent years, the Indigo phenomenon has made its way into movies, books, websites, and even to the therapist's office.
They will say, I've heard that you deal with Indigo children or children who are highly sensitive. Can you help me with my child? You think? I don't know.
Psychotherapist Julie Rosenshine says parents seek her help with kids they believe are indigos, many of whom have trouble socializing and paying attention in school.
Usually I'll get an email that will say, my child is having meltdowns, she can't sleep at night, she says that she sees things in her room, can you help me?
And what do you say?
I usually say, wow, you're seeing something at night? Do you know that sometimes angels visit at night? And their eyes will sometimes cloud up, with tears even, maybe, because it's the first time that anybody really affirmed for them that what they saw was not crazy, did not make them crazy.
I'm not really sure exactly what she had.
Sandy's parents, Tom and Marjorie Bershad, say from an early age their daughter was highly intuitive and overly sensitive, and has never liked to be touched.
Do you believe she sees dead people and angels?
I believe that she sees something. What it is, I don't know, but I believe that she's definitely seeing something.
Are there ever times, Sandy, where you wish you were just like the more typical kids and didn't have any of these kinds of visions or spirits or anything like that?
No, life wouldn't be interesting then.
Sandy says she is less depressed and doing better in school since discovering her Indigo roots. But skeptics warn that being Indigo may really mean just having a colorful imagination or attention deficit disorder.
You take highly misbehaving children and who are very, very bright, many of them are, and call them as Indigo children, and I think it's a stab at trying to apply a more positive label to these children rather than the more pejorative terms like ADHD or oppositional defiant disorder.
Marjorie, when a doctor says there's no such thing as Indigo children, it's just a label that parents are putting on kids who have ADD or some other condition.
I disagree. In my heart of hearts, I disagree. I've seen too many things.
Okay, well, come on back.
Dr. Trent Nichols is a gastroenterologist in Pennsylvania who treats children for extreme food sensitivities. He believes that up to 3% of those he sees are Indigo kids.
I think we are seeing children that really seem to be
way advanced for their years, or sensitive to certain things, or sensitive about other things in their environment. And I see this in some of my patients now. I don't think we saw it before. I don't remember 30 years ago doing that, because I've been a physician since '69.
So you think something's going on here?
Yeah, I think something, but it's hard to say what.
So the claims of people that these could be a special group, Indigo children, can't be rejected out of hand.
Right.
Inhale, peace. Exhale.
Psychics claim that indigo children have indigo-colored energy fields or auras around them.
Smile. Good. Thank you.
We asked a woman who claims she can take pictures of your aura to come to the Bershads' home and snap some shots of Sandy and me with her so-called aura camera.
That's the center of your being, and you do have transformation coming in.
In my photograph, there was a little indigo color, but in Sandy's, indigo dominated the picture. So are indigos really the next step in human evolution, as many believers suggest? If you have any doubts, Sandy says, just ask her angels.
They want the world, and we want the world to know that we are here and we are here to help, and that they want everyone to become more aware of indigos, to get used to it.
Okay, I've never heard of this. I'm not going to ask you if you actually believe it or not. What did doctors say about it, who you talked to?
A lot of pediatricians and child psychologists basically say either they've never heard of it or they don't really believe it. But I will tell you, Anderson, there are an awful lot of people throughout the world who do believe in this. And you do a Google search and put in indigo children, you will see 520,000 hits for
I don't
indigo
understand,
children.
though. Okay, allegedly these kids were people born after 1978. What is it about that year? Why would there suddenly be this rash of children in that age range?
The significance of that, 1978, the harmonic convergence that happened. This is a very new age thing.
It certainly is. All right, Gary Tuckman, thanks. I'm actually going to get my aura photographed right now. I want to introduce you to Nancy Stevens, a photographer who says that she specializes in capturing auras, correct? So you sit here, this is your special camera.
This is an aura camera.
An aura camera, right. And
Put your right hand and left hand on the hand plates.
Okay.
There's pickups that will register your predominant energy centers, which translates as your aura.
All right.
Okay.
I'm not sure I have any predominant energy centers, but let's give it a whirl.
Just look straight ahead.
Okay.
Take a nice deep breath. Exhale.
Okay.
Just takes a couple of seconds. It's calibrating your energy right now.
It's calibrating my energy.
Yes. Good. Okay, we're done.
Walk over here with me, if you will.
Right.
We'll develop the photograph in a little bit. How long have you been doing this?
Since 1999.
And here, just come over here. What is the aura that you're alleging you can photograph?
The aura is a combination of your physical energy, your emotional energy, and important to me, at least, is your spiritual energy.
And what can you tell, or what do you say you can tell by people's aura? Is it color that
Everyone has a unique, it's like a snowflake or a thumbprint. Everyone has a unique aura. Red is your physical energy. To the other side of the spectrum, which is purple, which is the spiritual side of you.
And what's the benefit of knowing what one's aura is?
It gives you insight as to what your gifts are, your strengths, and also your challenges. Just like in everything in life, there's a challenge and there's a positive. There's a yin and a yang.
I'm not sure I buy any of this, but we're going to develop the photograph in a little bit, and we'll check out my aura. Early in the program, we told you about indigo children, kids who some feel are mentally and spiritually gifted, who are said to have indigo-colored energy fields or auras around them. Aura photographer Nancy Stevens had taken my picture to see what kind of aura I have, and she joins me to talk about it. How'd the photo turn out?
Fabulous.
Let's take a look at it. What do you see in this? There. Uh-oh, what's that?
Okay.
That's yellow, isn't it?
Yes, the yellow reveals that you're an intellect, you're very intellectual. The white above you, that white arc, displays your spirit guides, otherwise known as angelic beings or deceased loved ones. The purple on the left side reveals that you are a visionary. It's a combination of red and blue equals purple. Red is grounded strength. It's chi, vitality. It's leadership and courage. And then the blue, which is hidden within the purple, reveals that you're very good at communication.
So you basically, I don't quite understand how your camera works, but I mean, it gets these things. Are they different for everybody?
Every photograph is unique, like a snowflake.
And what do you do this, what, at bar mitzvahs and parties, or?
I get called to many unusual events. They range from, I've done bar mitzvahs, I've done animals, showers. I just did a Overeaters Anonymous party last weekend.
Let's just take a look at the photo again. It's, I mean, it's an interesting. Why do you think people want to have your services? What do you think this gives people?
Because it indicates what their strengths are, their emotional energy, their spiritual energy, and their physical energy. It gives them a lot of insight as to who they are.
Interesting. Well, I'm not sure I buy any of it, but it's, you know, clearly there are a lot of people out there who do, and I appreciate you coming in and show us how it works.
You're quite welcome.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Intelligent, sensitive, but take a closer look. Are these psychic children, indigo children? They are called indigos because of a blue aura people say they see surrounding them. Neil Donald Walsh is the best-selling author of Conversations with God.
Indigo children have access to human experience at a larger level, at a greater depth than most people do.
Say you're an indigo, and somebody comes up to you and asks you a question about their life, and you could tell them what it was and how it happened.
I would feel things and I would think things that I thought no one else thought.
But is this a special gift from God?
God gave me this gift to share with others, to teach others what He gave me.
Skeptics say there's no proof or evidence of this condition.
No rigorous scientific tests have proven the existence of these so-called paranormal gifts.
But to parents like Tammy Glover, the gift cannot be explained, though it never ceases to astound.
And she says, "Wow, Mama, I can see myself in your eyes." And I said, "Yes, honey, I can see myself in your eyes." I said, "Isn't that beautiful? We can see ourselves in each other." And she smiled. She said, "Yes, just like I was Grandma Marlene."
And we're joined now by a family of these children, and you want to meet them now. They're Aaron and Tammy Glover. Their children, Angelina, Cyril, and Mailea. And Orion, who's 2 years old, has vanished out of the room. Little sleepy, are you here? Can we bring the camera in a second? Because I want everybody to see, first of all, your eyes, which are truly an amazing shade of blue. Now, Tammy, tell me the first thing that led you to believe that your children have special, psychic, spiritual powers?
Yes, well, I first of all want to say we accepted this invitation as a family because we feel we are truly here representing a great many families, a great many beautiful, beautiful children that are experiencing an advancement into the human potential.
Okay, give me an example, a specific. Let's just take Mailea, for instance.
Well, all three of the older children remember vividly previous lifetimes that they have had. And Mailea, for example, lives in lucid, vivid memory of being my mother.
Of being your mother. And this
Absolutely.
Is something she came up with?
Yes. She knew facts about her, the death process, and then even in between as spirit, and then...
you mean facts that she couldn't have known from you?
Otherwise, there's no way. She knew how her body was handled, how her...
It's hard to have your mom talking about you, isn't it?
She specifically knows things, you know.
Mommy?
Yes.
God, too.
Yes, God, too.
God, too. Angelina? What about you? Do you have a feeling? Do people treat you as if you're different? Do your schoolmates treat you as if you're different?
Well, no, all my friends were just, we're not like, they don't act like I'm higher or I don't act like, they're lower. We're just kind of all on the same level.
And do you have a feeling sometimes that you know things other people don't know?
Sometimes, but most of the time I really feel like a normal kid, and these experiences, they seem kind of normal. They don't seem...
So I'm told that you know your Christmas presents, Mailea does, before she gets them. Every year?
Well, yes. She describes things before I go to the store. She'll tell me, you're going to get me a pair of shoes, and they look like this. And she's waiting for me at the door when I come home.
But what about this, Aaron? Because a lot of the skeptics say, hey, this is just projecting. They're picking up things from you, that we can all read psychic powers into anybody if we want to.
Well, I mean, to all the skeptics, you know, this experience for us is like, we're not really here to convince anybody. We're not here to convert people. There's going to be people that are going to believe, and there's going to be people who won't. And that's not really something that's within our power.
But you were curious enough about it, Tammy. You had some of the children tested for autism because you thought it was so unusual?
No, that's not correct.
Oh, I thought I saw that in the note. Because, again, yes?
I have a cat named Osiris, and then I have a cat named Mucho, and Mucho.
You have a cat named
God.
Osiris and a cat
Mujo
named
is
Mujo,
God.
and Mujo is God. Well, that's very
And
interesting.
Mujo's gone.
Oh, gone.
Yes.
Gone. Oh, I'm sorry about
that's
that. What do you hope for them? What do you want to see from them? Do you think?
I just trust in them explicitly. I feel that they are beautiful at being themselves, and who they are is they're in an environment that supports their gifts and their beauty, and I just trust them.
And Surreal?
Yeah.
Do your friends treat you differently?
No, they just, it's sort of like what Lena said, they treat me the same as any other kid.
But do you feel different inside?
Just a little bit.
Especially on little sleep in the morning. The other thing that I just want to say before we go, everyone talks about a blue aura surrounding these children. You see it when you look at them?
Well, I have seen it, and I also want to share a little story. Mylea, right before we came to this trip, Mylea looked at me and said to me, Mama, you're all blue, Aaron and I. And
Both of you are blue.
Yes.
Well, again, it's across the country. It's fascinating, and we thank you for being with us.
Thank you.